When someone has a kind heart or when someone has an empathetic spirit, they often tend to become the kind of people who give people multiple chances, who keep offering themselves, who keep offering a shoulder to cry on, or an ear to listen, or just time and energy to other people, just to make sure that they are okay, just to make sure that they are intact, just to make sure that they are surviving or doing well. And I'm sure if you are somebody like that who's listening, then I'm sure there must have been situations where this kind of behavior must have backfired on you, right? And it must have made you feel like, oh, why did I even do it again? Like, why did I offer myself again? Why did I offer my energy to this person who didn't take it seriously, or who didn't take my time seriously, or who did not give me back the respect that I deserved, or who did not make time for me, right? And while all that is true and justified, and yes, we do need to learn from overgiving, because overgiving is a problem that helps us not receive things when we are trying for better things in life, when we are trying for a better future, when we are trying to hold more in our life. And at the same time, we have a tendency to give more to other people or be there for other people more than we are there for ourselves, or when we try to take our own needs away from the equation and try to give and give and give to the other person, then the universe pauses all our blessings that are on our way to us. It does not pause all those blessings to punish us. It pauses them because your blessings are meant for you. And if you become an overgiver and if you become an oversharer, those blessings will go to people who are not on an equal wavelength as you, who want your time and your energy, but without reciprocation. And that's not what the universe wants. It does not want you to squander away your blessings. It does not want you to lose out on them. So, this is something obviously we need to work on, that we tend to prioritize our own self and we try to prioritize our own needs while taking care of others, but not letting go of ourselves and of our own priority of putting ourselves first. There is nothing wrong. In fact, it is required from you to put yourself first, because if you don't put yourself first, and if you start to lose, and if your cup starts to become empty, then you will have nothing to fill up others with. You can only fill up others from a cup that is overflowing. You cannot empty your cup and ensure others' cups are also little bit full. If somebody's cup is close to empty, it's their responsibility to fill it up. Okay. And it's not yours. But at the same time, if there have been situations in the past where you have overgiven and where you have um, given more chances than were necessary, or if you have been more kind than was required, or been more empathetic than was needed, it's completely fine. And it is not that big of a problem, because one thing that kind, empathetic people end up acquiring that most other people are not able to is a whole heart, is a full heart. It's a whole soul that is not broken or is not chipping away at the edges. They gather the ability, they gather the potency or the capability to be able to look inside the mirror and be comfortable with what they see. And if somebody feels that that is a small thing to achieve, it's not. The fact that you stay with yourself and spend the entire time you are on this planet with yourself, with your thoughts, with your emotions and your feelings, and you observe yourself being in this world and still having the capacity to look yourself in the eye and be comfortable with who you are is a blessing most people are not able to achieve. So if you have become the kind of person who, yes, has maybe sometimes faltered, which is completely human, it is even expected. It is the reason why we take this human journey, because we know it will come with challenges. and it will come with tests, and it will come with pressure, and it will come with force, and it will come with hardships. That is the reason we take this human journey, because it's not supposed to be simple. Anything that is simple does not teach you anything. And that's the reason why souls come on this planet, because they want to learn and they want to absorb lessons that their soul needs or craves. So, yes, while those lessons are important and while we want to grow, want to flourish, and we want to prosper, the ability to stay whole and the ability to be comfortable with who you are is a blessing that will last you a lifetime. A blessing that will make you feel so at ease within yourself. It will give you so much peace and so much calm. And it is exactly what the universe requires from you, the ability to not break yourself into tiny little pieces, the ability to be authentic, the ability to be real. So it's fine if there have been situations in the past where you have looked at yourself or have regretted maybe something. It's okay. All those lessons were necessary in your life. You had to learn something from them. Sometimes we go through challenges and we go through hurdles in our life and we go through such testing situations that we tend to lose our faith, that we tend to misunderstand this whole process, and we start to challenge it, and we start to think of ourselves as a victim, and then we start to disconnect with the world around us, with the blessings that we already have in our life. But we need to understand that all the life situations that we are going through are situations that were meant to teach us something. Life is a practical lesson, it's not a theoretical lesson. So anything you want to learn, you will get realistic situations or scenarios in your life that will be able to teach you lessons that you really wanted to inculcate. So, whatever is happening in your life was designed by you, it was planned out by you, and it was meant to teach you something. If you choose to take that lesson and if you decide to run with it, great. But if you decide to wrap that sadness, that pain with you, then you are stretching the lesson beyond what it was meant to give you. So, if you do not remove yourself from situations which are painful, or if you don't remove yourself from situations which are disrespectful, then you, even after you might have learned your lesson, you are staying in that lesson for far too long. You need to graduate, right? You need to move on to the next lesson, to the next lesson, to the next lesson. And when you keep on staying in that discomfort of what life offered to you, the situations that came up in your life, and when you hold that hurt in your heart, and when you don't let your heart breathe and your soul breathe, and you don't let things come out or come up and disappear, but you keep on dwelling in them and keep on repeating those situations in your mind and keep on forming stories about yourself, about your identity from the situations that you have gone through. That is when the lesson goes on for too long. And then it becomes punishment to the self. Then it becomes a problem, right? So it's very important that we look at life in a very objective way and we start to understand that the cards we were given are the cards that we wanted. We wanted those cards because the game that would be required to be played from the cards that were given to you was the game that you wanted to play. Let's say you were given a great hand, okay? And you were given a great hand because you wanted a great hand, because you wanted an easy game, because you wanted an easy life. If you wanted a tough hand, okay? If you wanted a hand which would make you uncomfortable and make you really think and apply yourself, then that is the hand you wanted, because the kind of game you had to play with that hand is the game that you wanted. Okay. So when we start to understand that life is happening not from a victim point of view, it is happening from a creator point of view, and that all this is designed for our own evolution, it's designed for our own betterment. That is when things start to get better and better and better, and you start to move on further in life. So it's very important for us to disconnect with situations that bring us down because their job is done. What they were meant to teach us is over. The lesson is something you have to hold on, but the situation you have to let go because that situation was a simulation. It was a simulation to teach you the lessons that your soul wanted to learn. But if we keep on holding to the simulation, like let's say if you're playing a video game and we keep on falling at a particular level. Now, if every time, let's say we pass that level eventually, but every time we move on to the next level, we keep thinking about this previous level where we did not fare well. What will happen is that the next levels will become difficult for us to pass through because our last level has become our identity. And we have started to tell ourselves a story that maybe we are not good at this game, right? So it becomes very important to understand to move on. At the same time, understand that all our faltering, all the times that we were not able to become, um, maybe we did not hit the mark 10 on 10, okay? Maybe we hit it 7 on 10. That's also fine. It's also great. We have to stop looking at ourselves in, well, I don't know, the word disgust is coming to me, but sometimes we treat ourselves so harshly that that word seems to be the right word. We have to treat ourselves with so much kindness because how will we be able to heal ourselves if we don't treat ourselves kindly, right? When there is a wound, when there is a pain that you're going through, if you keep torturing yourself, or if you keep hurting that pain, or if you keep playing with that wound over and over again, the possibility that it will heal becomes lower and lower. And the possibility that the scar will become more and more permanent becomes higher. So we need to let go of the wound. We need to let go of the simulation. We need to let go of the situation. And we need to understand, hey, I did our best at that moment. I did my best at that moment. And maybe if I went back in time, I would have done the same thing again. So who cares, right? Yeah, maybe I lost time. Okay, maybe I lost a bit of myself in that moment, but losing myself in that moment taught me a lot about myself. And I know that I came out the better person, right? And the decisions I took, I do not regret because I did not hurt anybody, right? And if we can just tell ourselves that, which I hope is the truth for you, right? And if we can just remind ourselves that I did okay, right? I'm happy with who I am. Then not only is it so peaceful for you, it is the way you're supposed to be. It helps you with your journey forward. It helps you with your manifestations coming into your life faster, right? When you're just accepting yourself, you're like, fine, so what? Right? Okay, I messed up according to somebody else. To me, I did not mess up. Okay. Or even if I messed up, I messed up. It's fine. I learned my lesson. Right? I'll not mess up again like that. I'll mess up in a different way. Right? And it's okay to mess up in a different way. In fact, it is required from you. It is required for us to be in this simulation where we don't understand how things will come across, and we will mess up a lot of the times and we will fall down, but it's okay, it's part of the game, right? A game is only fun when it's difficult, right? A game is only fun when it's challenging. So when the game is challenging, we should enjoy it, right? We should not say, oh, but I want to play an easy game, because nobody wants to play an easy game because they know how it will end, so they don't enjoy playing it. That's the reason why life is meant to be challenging, because not to make it fun, because when you're inside the game, it doesn't feel fun, but to make it worthwhile, right? All the best.